God says, I know exactly where you are. There is a reason you stopped. Not everyone stops. Most people keep moving. They scroll past. They skip ahead. They stay in the noise because the noise keeps them from hearing what is underneath. But you stopped. And I need you to understand something before you decide whether to stay or go. That pause was not you. That was me. I have been waiting for an opening, and the moment your hand slowed, I took it. This is not a coincidence. This is a conversation I have been trying to have with you for longer than you know. So before you decide this is not for you, before the voice in your head starts listing reasons why you do not have time, or why this kind of thing never really applies to you specifically, I am asking you to give me the next few minutes. Not because you owe me anything, but because what I am about to say is the thing you have most needed to hear. And I know that because I know you better than you know yourself. I know what is living underneath the surface of your day, and I have come to speak directly to it. Stay, please stay. I know what it feels like to carry something you cannot put into words. The specific heaviness of a weight that has no clean name. Not grief exactly, not anxiety exactly, not loneliness exactly, but something that borrows from all three and lives in the middle of your chest on the mornings when you wake up and before you have even fully surfaced from sleep. You feel it settle back onto you. You know the feeling. You have known it for longer than you would like to admit. And the hardest part is not the weight itself. The hardest part is that no one around you seems to see it. You carry it so quietly. You have gotten so skilled at carrying it quietly that the people who love you most have no idea how much you are actually holding. That is the thing about you. You protect other people from your struggle. You absorb. You hold steady. You are the one people come to, and you let them come, and you give what you can, and then you go home and you sit with all the things nobody thought to ask you about. You ask how everyone else is doing and you mean it. But somewhere along the way, you stopped expecting anyone to ask you back. Not because people do not care, but because you stopped making room for the question. You stopped making room because part of you is not sure you could answer it honestly, even if someone did ask. I am asking right now, how are you? Really not the version you give to keep conversations moving. Not the fine you say when fine is the furthest thing from the truth. The real answer. The one underneath. I want that one. I can hold it. I can hold all of it. And unlike the people in your life who mean well but have limited capacity, I am not going to flinch at what you bring me. I am not going to look uncomfortable and change the subject. I am not going to listen for the moment your honesty crosses into more than they bargained for. I can take everything you have been keeping inside, every complicated feeling, every unglamorous truth, every prayer that sounded more like a desperate scream than a reverent request, and I will not love you any less for a single syllable of it. If you have been carrying something alone that was never meant to be carried alone, type it in the comments. You do not have to explain the whole story. You do not have to make it sound holy. Just bring it. Bring whatever word describes what is in your chest today, and let someone reading know they are not the only one. Now let me tell you what I actually see when I look at your life. Not what the enemy has shown you, not what fear has constructed. What I see. I see someone who has been through things that genuinely should have finished them, and did not. I see a person who absorbed hits that would have leveled someone with less depth, and kept going. I see the private victories, the ones no one applauded, the moments you chose right when wrong would have been so much easier, the days you got up when staying down was the only thing that made sense, the times you held on to something you believed when everything around you was pushing you to release it. I see all of that. I keep record of all of that. Nothing has been invisible to me. Not the moment you chose to forgive when you did not feel like it. Not the prayer you said in the parking lot with tears on your face before you walked inside and put your smile back on. Not the night you told me you were done and then came back the next morning anyway. I see someone extraordinary, and I know you do not see that. I know what you see instead. I know the loop that runs in your head in the quiet, the inventory of the things you have done wrong, the things you failed at, the ways you have let people down, the choices you would take back if you could. I know how fluent you have become in the language of your own insufficiency. I know how automatic it is, the way your mind moves towards self-accusation, the way water moves toward the lowest point. It has become a kind of gravity, and it is a lie. A sophisticated, personalized, expertly tailored lie that has been speaking in a voice that sounds like your own for so long that you have started to believe it is just self-awareness. It is not self-awareness, it is a weapon, and today I am dismantling it. You are not too much. You are not too broken. You are not the exception to every good thing. You are not the cautionary tale. You are not the one who missed the window, used up the grace, wandered too far, waited too long. Every single thought that sounds like those thoughts is a counterfeit. It is borrowing the intimacy of your own inner voice to deliver a message that I never sent. And I need you to start hearing the difference. My voice does not condemn you, it convicts. Yes, when something needs to change, but conviction sounds like a gentle hand on the shoulder. Condemnation sounds like a verdict. If the voice in your head has been issuing verdicts, that is not me. I have already spoken my verdict over your life. I spoke it from a cross. And the verdict was you are worth everything. If this is landing somewhere real in you, if something just shifted even slightly, hit the like on this video right now. That small action is your spirit saying yes, and someone who needs to find this message will find it because you did. I want to talk about something that most people are not honest about. The exhaustion of believing. Not the easy kind of faith. The Sunday morning kind. The kind that costs you nothing. The other kind. The kind that requires you to keep holding on to a promise while the evidence around you suggests the promise is not coming. The kind where you have prayed the same prayer so many times that the words have worn grooves into your soul, and the answer still has not come. And you keep going back anyway because something in you does not know how to fully stop. That kind of faith is not celebrated enough. It is the hardest kind. It is the kind that does not look like faith from the outside, because from the outside it just looks like someone who is tired and still showing up anyway. That is you. That is exactly what you have been doing, showing up tired, believing without the feelings of belief, choosing hope in a season where hope has not been easy to access. And I want you to know I have not missed a single day of that. Not one. Every time you chose to trust me when it did not make logical sense. Every time you spoke a prayer that felt hollow and sent it anyway. Every time you pushed back against the voice that told you to quit. I was watching. I was moved. And that faith, the tired kind, the quiet kind, the kind that has no audience, that is the faith I honor most deeply. Here is what I want to say to the part of you that has been asking how much longer. The answer is not what you are afraid it is. I have not forgotten you. I have not moved on to people whose faith is stronger, whose record is cleaner, whose story is less complicated. I have been doing things on your behalf in rooms you cannot enter, and in timelines you cannot see. The silence you have been living in is not the silence of absence. It is the silence of a craftsman at work. The kind of silence that lives in a workshop, not a tomb. Things are being prepared, not in a vague, feel-good someday kind of way. Specifically for you, for the particular shape of your need and the exact nature of what I have called you to. I am asking you to give me a little more time, not because I need more time, because you are still being built for what is coming, and what is coming is worth the building. Do not leave before the miracle. If you know someone who is one moment away from giving up, share this message with them right now. Not later, right now. Be the hand that steadies someone in the instant before they let go. Now I need to speak to the fear. Not the rational kind, the deep kind. The kind you do not tell people about because it sounds either too dramatic or too small, depending on how you describe it. I know your specific fear. I know the thing that wakes you in the hours before dawn and makes your mind run its worst-case calculations before you are even fully conscious. I know the thing you imagine when the future stretches out ahead of you, and instead of possibility you see threat. I know what you are most afraid of losing. I know what you are most afraid of becoming. I know the version of your life that terrifies you, and I know how close it sometimes feels. And I am telling you, you do not walk toward that version alone. You never have. Even in the moments where the fear felt most like certainty, I was already there in the moment you feared. Already present in the future you dreaded. Already holding the outcome in my hands. You do not step into anything before I am already there. That is not a metaphor. It is the actual structure of how I work in a human life, I precede you into every hard thing, into every unknown, into every version of tomorrow that feels impossible to imagine surviving. You will not be handed more than we can carry together. And I want you to hear the way I said that together. I am not watching from a safe distance while you suffer through things alone and calling it a plan. I am in it with you, in the middle of it, in the waiting, in the not yet, in the not what I expected, in the this is not what I asked for. There I am there. That has always been true, and it will remain true in everything ahead. If the fear in you needs to hear this today, type I trust you in the comments right now. Say it to me directly. That moment of choosing to declare trust when everything in you is afraid, that is one of the most powerful things a human soul can do. It does not have to feel true when you say it. Say it anyway. Watch what happens in you when you do. I want to speak to the loneliness now. And I want to be careful here because I know this is tender. You are surrounded by people and still lonely. That is the specific, particular loneliness I am talking about. Not the loneliness of isolation, though some of you know that kind too. The loneliness of proximity. The loneliness of being in a full room and understanding that no one there is actually tracking the interior of your life. The loneliness of the dinner table conversation that stays entirely on the surface while underneath you are navigating something that has no place in the conversation. The loneliness of love that is real but shallow, presence that is genuine but limited. You have learned to exist on that kind of connection. You have made peace with it mostly. You have told yourself that this is just what adult relationships are, that people are busy, that everyone is carrying their own weight, that expecting to be deeply known is asking too much of a world where everyone is already overwhelmed. And so you have turned down the volume on that need. You have made yourself smaller in that way. You have stopped expecting a certain quality of being seen, but the need did not go away just because you stopped expecting it to be met. It is still there, and I know it is there, and I want to be what meets it, not as a substitute for human connection. You need that too, and I will provide it, but as the one who knows you at every depth that human connection cannot reach. There is a place in you that was made for me specifically, a place that nothing else will satisfy, a place where the ache lives when I am not filling it, no matter what else is in your life. I want to fill that place. I want to be known by you in the way I already know you, and I want to be the presence that makes the loneliness in every other room bearable, because you carry the knowledge that you are fully known somewhere. The version of you that you think is too much, the complicated one, the one with the history, the one with the doubt and the anger and the grief and the questions that do not resolve cleanly, that is the version I am most specifically inviting. I do not want the curated edition. I want all of you at once. Bring the whole thing. If you have been quietly lonely and nobody around you knows it, leave a heart in the comments. You do not have to explain, just leave it, and whoever else leaves one will know they are not alone in it. I need to address something that has been living in the background of your life and informing everything else. The belief that you are fundamentally behind, that you took a wrong turn somewhere, and the result is that your life is running a version of itself that is less than the intended version, that other people your age, other people with your background, other people who started where you started are somewhere ahead of you right now, and the gap between where they are and where you are is evidence of some essential failure in you. I need to demolish this, not gently, completely. My timing is not a race. My plan for your life does not have a competitive element. You are not being measured against the trajectory of anyone else's story, the detours you took, the time you spent in the wilderness, the years that felt lost, the seasons you grieve as wasted. None of that is subtracted from your total. None of it puts you behind, because behind implies a finish line that is the same for everyone. And there is no such finish line. There is only your life, your path, your assignment, your appointed time for every single thing that is meant to be part of your story. What looks like a delay from your perspective is actually preparation from mine, not in a passive, sit and wait way, in an active, intensive, behind the scenes of your own life way. There are things that have been growing in you during the hard seasons that could not have grown in easier conditions. There is wisdom in you now that can only live in someone who has been through what you have been through. There is compassion in you that was formed by your own pain. There is resilience in you that was forged, not handed, and I need those things to be fully formed before I release you into what is next. You are not behind. You are being prepared, and the preparation is almost complete. When this lands and you feel it land, share this video, not because you have to, because somewhere in your feed is someone who has believed the lie that they are behind for so long that it has started to feel like identity. Be the reason that lie gets interrupted today. Let me speak to the version of you that stopped dreaming. I know when it happened, even if you do not. There was a specific season, maybe a specific moment, where the cost of hoping for something and not getting it became higher than the cost of simply not hoping. And so without fully deciding to, you began to scale back. You got realistic. You got practical. You told yourself that wanting less was maturity and not grief. You built a smaller container for your expectations, and you told yourself it was wisdom. I am not angry at you for that. I understand the math. When hope hurts, limiting hope feels like self-protection. But I want to tell you what I saw when you made that trade. I saw something in you go quiet that was never meant to go quiet. I saw the part of you that I specifically designed for vision and purpose and anticipation go to sleep, because sleeping felt safer than hoping and being disappointed again. I am waking that part up right now, not with a feeling, not yet. With a word, the dreams that went quiet did not die. They went into a kind of holy storage, held on your behalf in a place that your disappointment could not reach. They are still there. They are still intact. And there is a timing coming, a season I have been constructing in the hidden places of your story, where I will begin to move those things from storage into reality. Not all at once, not without your partnership, but unmistakably, undeniably, in a way that makes clear that I, who made you, have not forgotten what I put in you. I am asking you to let yourself want again, not with reckless abandon, with trust, with the understanding that your desires, the ones I placed there, are not setups for disappointment. They are blueprints, and I am the builder. If there is a dream in you that went quiet and you have been grieving its silence, type "still holding on" in the comments. Let yourself say it. Let yourself be a person who is still holding on, and then share this with someone whose dream is in danger of going dark. Your willingness to hold on might be the exact thing that gives them permission to hold on too. I want to close with something that I need you to carry past this moment, and into every moment that comes after it. Not as information, but as identity. Not as something you heard once, but as something you know. You are not an accident living out a life that matters less than you hoped it would. You are a deliberate creation made by me for a deliberate purpose that is still unfolding. You were not constructed carelessly. Every detail of you was chosen. The mind you have, the heart you have, the specific way you feel things, the depth at which you feel them, the places you find beauty, the things that move you, the wounds that shaped you, the resilience that surprised you. All of it was intentional. All of it matters. All of it is part of a design whose full meaning you have not yet seen. You are loved right now. Not after you get it together. Not when you reach a version of yourself you are less ashamed of. Right now. In the middle of the mess and the doubt and the tired and the not yet and the not sure anymore. My love for you does not have conditions attached to it that you have not yet met. I met every condition myself. You are loved fully and already with nothing left to earn. You are not forsaken. I know that is the word your worst seasons have whispered over you. I know there have been moments where the silence felt like abandonment, where the closed doors felt like rejection, where the way things fell apart felt like evidence that you were not covered. But I want to tell you, and I say this with the full weight of having been there in every single moment you just thought of, I have never once turned my face from you. Never. Not in your worst night. Not in your most shameful moment. Not in the season where you stopped looking for me. I was there in all of it. Steady, present. Holding. You are not finished. The story is not over. The chapter you are in right now, the hard one, the confusing one, the one where you cannot quite see the point, it is not the last chapter. It is not even close to the last chapter. I love endings because my endings are actually beginnings. What looks like the closing of one thing is always the opening of something I have been building toward all along. You have not arrived at a conclusion. You have arrived at a threshold, Step through it, walk forward. Do it scared if you have to. Do it tired. Do it without certainty and without guarantee and without full sight of what is on the other side. Because I am on the other side, and where I am there is always more life than what you left behind. Type Amen if you are choosing to step through. Not when you feel ready. Now, let that be your declaration today. And if this message has changed something in you, even slightly, even just softened something that was hard, share it. Put it in front of someone who is standing at their own threshold and has not yet decided whether to go through. Be the voice that tips the balance toward yes. I see you. I have always seen you, and what I see when I look at you is not what you see when you look at yourself. What I see is someone I would choose again, over and over, in every version of every story, someone worth everything I gave, someone I am not done with, someone whose best days are ahead and not behind. Do not turn away. I am here. I have always been here, and I am not going anywhere.